perfect tool for cleaning the hookah. I suspected this pin never pierced a bonnet or a lady's coiffure. Useful items, hat pins. May I have your opinion of Pratt's decor, Watson?
Bordellos and counterfeit harems of the world could learn a thing or two here. Did the filing clerk fancy himself a Maharaja?
It's an old story. He was meant to be a potentate, but an accident of birth deprived him of his true destiny. What is the attraction of these devices? Is water-cooled smoke more healthful?
Hardly. One doesn't smoke for one's health. The hookah merely makes for a change. As with all habits, it is subject to abuse.
And how, in your opinion, does an innocuous habit become a vice?
Excess, Holmes, a subject about which you are expert.
You know this odour, Watson, unless I have mistaken your experience.
Opium. The acrid, nearly sickening scent is unmistakable.
The source is obvious. Its significance is less so. The bowl appears clogged with the poppy's viscous residue. Pratt's pecuniary embarrassment went far beyond defaulting on his rent.
Why do you say so?
A heap of overdue bills, requests for credit, all denied, and a record of ill-conceived investments.
He sounds a reckless fool. There, but for the grace of God, any of us might be if we're desperate enough.
Very true, Watson. It would help to know what caused his desperation. This wax once sealed Dewar's document. I'd bet on it.
Where's the other half?
If I knew, we'd be further along. But you make a nice observation, Watson. It does appear to be nearly a perfect half of the seal. Do you suppose this is a photo of the supposititious spacemaker?
Why do you think the name is intended to deceive?
In life or literature, I'll wager you've never seen it. It's a jest. Spacemaker, or Spaßmacher, means the joker in German.
Would it be interesting to know why an alias was necessary or desirable?
At the least, he wanted to conceal his identity from Mrs. Mason, but the Act of '85 may have been on his mind.
Surely that's pure speculation, Holmes.
Not so speculative, Watson, and hardly pure. People's predilections are their own affair until their criminal actions make them mine. Wilde is widely credited with the wittiest riposte of the decade.
Which was?
The justly ignored poet laureate once approached him. "Oscar," he complained, "no one notices my work. There is a conspiracy of silence against me. What shall I do?" Wilde instantly replied, "Join it."
Regrettably, the poet laureate ignored that sound advice.
How can I help you, gentlemen?
There are certainly more rank odours, but it is revolting to discover mildew in towels. I'm certain the authorities would deem it less than hygienic. I believe Thomas Pratt was a patron of these premises. When did you last see him?
Adrian Russell at your service. Were you thinking of joining us here at Neville's? I can make you an handsome introductory offer.
We'd like a private word about Pratt.
What are the chances? At Neville's, his privacy is my business.
Who are the men on the drying couches, Mr. Russell?
Haven't a clue.
You don't recognize your clientele?
I know a nosy Parker from a paying customer.
The premises seem lightly attended. What amenities are available here?
We have an exercise room, a steam bath, modern individual steam cabinets, and 2 invigorating cold water plunges. You could do worse.
We should like to see the baths.
Baths are baths. There are several members back there au naturel. They don't appreciate intruders.
Perhaps we will become members, Russell. It looks a decent enough place.
Sound thought. Put colour in your frog-belly complexion, improve muscle tone, and you get to meet a nice class of person. All for a modest cost. I'll get your paperwork, shall I?
Of course, we'd need to inspect all the facilities.
Fine, but as I've said, don't pester the clients, and the baths are not available to you at the moment.
I'm not impressed with your choice of tobacco.
And the patrons don't complain.
Perhaps the smell conceals some other scent. Perhaps you are encouraging some less savoury activities here?
Leave off. What about a membership? Think you'd like to join?
When I decide I want to spend my leisure conversing with dunces while smoking bad tobacco and acquiring pestiferous skin ailments, you'll be informed. Have you ever considered fumigating this place? It couldn't help but improve the atmosphere.
Members appreciate the traditional bouquet of odours. Most find comfort in familiar scents. You would also, in time.
Not if I lived 1,000 years. Are either of you gentlemen acquainted with Mr. Thomas Pratt?
Don't believe I've had the pleasure. Have you, Dickie? No, I'm quite certain. Pratt I've heard of. Particular eating habits, as I recall. But Pratt, no Pratt to talk to any old grandmatter, I'm afraid. Nice chap, is he? A Neville's man, that sort of thing, what?
Moron. Perhaps the heat has addled his brain.
More likely he's simply stupid.
If these dolts are representative of the new generation of civil servants, Watson, the country is in trouble. Do you recall anything about Mr. Thomas Pratt or his associates?
No, but it appears we should. There was a chap in here earlier asking for him. Seems to be a popular fellow, Dickie. How is it we don't know him?